Hey y'all, what's good today, man? First, what I gotta do, man, is I gotta thank y'all, man. All the support for the past couple days. It's not the most support. Maybe I'm not getting support like a YouTuber with thousands of subscribers. Hey, but it means a lot to me, man. It don't matter if it's only 2 of you motherfuckers or 300. And I really appreciate it, man. But today, as you saw in the title of the video, man, we're gonna be talking about players who should have retired earlier. All right, man. So these players can be Hall of Famers or just like bench players, that should have retired earlier, basically because of their stats and how they've downgraded. Like, I feel like Kobe, even though I loved him, he did hold back the Lakers the extra 2 years he was there, because 20-year stint with the Lakers is one hell of a thing, but his efficiency really dropped. So his stats right here in his last 3 seasons, or in his last 2, okay, let's not say the last, the third of last season, because he wasn't that bad. Okay, 14 points and 42% shooting. That's not bad for 2013, 2014. But if we're gonna talk about the last 2 seasons, he shot 37%, then he shot 35%. He was shooting 20% from 3. It's this dip in efficiency really hurt, because he was averaging 30 minutes a game in both seasons. So, do I think it's a thing on the Lakers to keep him in for that long at this age? Yeah, most definitely. I feel like, this is an old Kobe. I think he retired at 38. But to have him playing 30 minutes at 37 and 38, man, that's kind of crazy. We all love Kobe, but, when they had D'Angelo Russell there, Brandon Ingram there, they had Jordan Clarkson there. I think Josh Hart was there before Kobe retired too. It's like those players could have got a lot more minutes, and you could have kept Kobe on the bench maybe 10 more minutes a game, and you'll get more production out of them. D'Angelo Russell ended up becoming a really solid NBA point guard. But in the end of the day, man, it's not. It also brought down his shooting percentage. He was shooting around 48% before these last 2 seasons, and then it brought it down to 44% on his career, which sucks. But we all love some Kobe. And the next one is, obviously, you guys knew he'd be on this list. Is Vince Carter. Vince Carter, okay, he's played 22 seasons in the NBA, which maybe he was going for this as a goal or something like that, but 22 seasons is a long time. And this dude in the last, actually it was a good amount of seasons that he wasn't averaging that many points. So his last season on Dallas, he was averaging 12 points, which was the 2013 season. I think that's where they pushed that Oklahoma City series in the first round to 7 or something like that. They didn't win it, but they pushed it. But his last six-ish seasons, man, it's not been that productive. Obviously with the Hawks this year, it was sad to see him go out on his last game. Not because it was the 82nd game on the season, but the fact that the quarantine was the coronavirus was gonna shut it down and all that. That's a sad sight. But Vince Carter, man, he had one hell of a historic career. He's the longest NBA career ever. Not the oldest to retire though. I looked that up a couple days ago, and it was the oldest guy to retire was almost 46 years old. Man, that's just crazy. Man, can you even walk at that point? It's geez. But the next guy who isn't technically retired yet is Pau Gasol. So it seems like he's retired, but he did sign a contract with the Portland Trail Blazers, which is Pau, what are you doing, man? And it's crazy too, because he was in the All-Star game a couple years ago with Chicago, all that stuff. He's a Hall of Famer most definitely, at least in my eyes. But I feel like he should have retired, or he should have retired earlier. If you look at the last 2 games played, the last 2 seasons played for him, where he played with the Bucks and the Spurs. The Bucks looked like he was chasing a ring. That's none of my business though. But he played 3 games that season, and the Spurs he played 27. So, not many games played. Obviously, he went down to 1 and 4 points. But I feel like he should have retired earlier, or if he's not already retired, he should retire. Because Pau Gasol, I remember him after he got off that Lakers team. He went to Chicago and won an All-Star. I was like, damn, because he was on that Lakers team for a stretch. Last time they won was 2010, I think, with Kobe Bryant. But he was on that team till 2013. I didn't know that. I thought he got out of there actually like 2011. But yeah, Pau Gasol, obviously a Hall of Fame career. You know, one guy. You know, he was like the more chilled down Dirk Nowitzki. You know, Dirk Nowitzki was a great player, but Pau Gasol was like, what I mean by chilled down is that not meaning that his stats didn't shape up to Dirk's, because they were close. But the fact that he was a lot more calm. You know, Dirk is known as like the Dallas Maverick. He's known as like the Dallas Mavericks franchise right now. But yeah, Pau Gasol, man, you know, he should have retired earlier. Next one, this is obvious as hell. I don't even know if he plays anymore, really. You know, I haven't seen him get on a game. Like this season, he's played 3 games. This guy's Udonis Haslem. All right, man, Udonis Haslem. You know, I'm a Heat fan, and all the Heat fans will know, man, we love this guy. Udonis Haslem's brought us, I think it's like 17 or 16 years with the Heat. He only averaged over 10 for 4 seasons. But, you know, that wasn't his game, really, you know. When people were thinking about, oh, what's the big 5 going to be, or the big 3 going to be when it comes to the Heat, like, oh, it's going to be LeBron, Wade, Bosh, and Udonis. Man, Udonis was old at that time, all right? When he won a chip in 2013, he was only averaging 6 points per game and playing 25 minutes. You know, so you couldn't consider that a star. But, you know, Udonis Haslem, to me, his jersey should be retired by the damn Heat. I mean, who the hell would want to wear freaking 40 anyway? But Udonis, man, I love this guy. But, man, he should have most definitely retired earlier. He's been averaging in the range of 1 to 2 points for the last 5 seasons. So, yeah, Udonis, man, I don't feel like he's a Hall of Famer, but everybody's going to remember him no matter what. Okay, the next guy we're going to be talking about is Joe Johnson. So near the end of his career, I didn't know what he was doing. You know, he was with Brooklyn for them 3 years. You know, that's when I started to notice the dude. But he also had a really good run in Atlanta. I think he was an all-star in Atlanta. But it's like he had a weird career to me. Because after Brooklyn, he went to Miami, joined up with D-Wade. I was like, oh, this is great. You know, we're not going to win the championship off of this, but we get to see 2 old people play. You know, Joe Johnson to me is he's a pretty nice player to watch. I don't think he ever got a ring, but pretty nice player to watch. Then he returned to Brooklyn. I did not know he returned to Brooklyn, or maybe he got traded. Okay, maybe them stats are tripping. But then he went to Utah, and Houston, and it's like, you know, at that point he was shooting 38% from the field. You know, I do know one thing though. He's part of this Big 3 league where it's a bunch of these old people that play. You know, that's all cool and all that stuff. But, you know, I mean, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. You know, Joe Johnson, he's a solid NBA player. But I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, really, you know. But to the next dude, Tyson Chandler, man. Every year, it's like I look at the teams and look at the roster, see what changed. And I'm like, and I find Tyson Chandler on some roster. I'm like, what? Tyson Chandler is still in the league? Yeah, he was with Phoenix last year, averaged 3 points per game. You know, obviously he's part of that 2011 Dallas Mavericks team where he was a big part of that team, and you know, I don't like him for that because, you know, I'm a Miami Heat fan. I used to live in Florida, and I'm also a Nuggets fan because I live in Denver right now. But it's like he's been a solid center his whole career. Do I feel like he's a Hall of Famer? No, but we're not talking about that as much. But he should retire. He should have retired earlier. Now he's with the Houston Rockets. You know, cool. You could probably ring chase with the Rockets. You know, maybe they have a chance to win a ring this year. But yeah, man, he's not getting any play time because they want people to stretch out and just have the center sit on threes, like, you know, PJ Tucker and all that. But you know, Tyson Chandler, man, he might not be the best player of all time, but I remember in his Knicks days. You know, I used to love him in his Knicks days, man, when he used to play with Carmelo and all that. You know, the Knicks team was a fun team, man. You know, I'm not from New York, but my dad lived there in New York for a little bit. And it's like, man, Carmelo and Tyson Chandler and J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert in New York, that shit was entertaining as hell. No doubt about it. But damn, he's played. That's a 1,100 games played? Damn, okay. I didn't know he played that much. But yeah, man. Again, thank y'all for all the support, man. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, man.